I just overwrote my save. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucardo and welcome back to Miranda's All Girls University. We are playing Resident Lovers. Miranda, part 3. I think this is part 3. Okay. I actually don't know. It's the next Miranda installment. Let's play, shall we? I don't know where we are or where we left off, but here we are. Bam. You tap your pen against the desk, eyes drooping as you force yourself to pay attention or at least stay awake. As the professor continues to lecture, you feel yourself drooping further down on the table until a traitorous little thought crosses your mind. Just for a second. You allow your eyes to close gently, keeping them shut for just a few seconds before everything becomes blurry. If we could all focus. Fuck. Just 1 second had somehow turned into many seconds, and now you startle awake and look at Professor Dimitrescu guiltily as the rest of the class stares at you. Sorry, Professor. She gives you a look but goes back to teaching, and this time you sit straight and blink as little as you can. Class goes by very slowly, but you manage to stay awake the whole time, so you suppose you're getting somewhere. As you slowly write down the few tidbits you can remember, you feel your brain cells dying as you struggle to focus, but eventually the lecture comes to a close. It felt incredibly long, but maybe that's because you've been skipping out on it or falling asleep. What? It's tiring being Miranda's assistant, and more often than not, you want to live in your bed on the days you have off. That, and you don't exactly have a natural affinity for this class, because they were not lying when they said it was hard. You. Stay. You freeze in place, instinctually knowing that it is you on her shit list, and understandably so. Like a scolded dog, you slowly walk towards her, and she gives you a displeased expression. Come with me to my office. I'm demonetized now. You shift awkwardly in front of her desk as she irritably picks up a folder and lets it drop in front of you. Hesitantly, you reach out and flip it open, revealing a stack of essays written throughout the year. They're ordered chronologically, so the first few have high marks, or higher than the rest. Over time, you can see the grades slowly lower until you're just barely straggling through with a passing grade. You can feel your face give a wince as the grade drops lower and lower, until your most recent grade glares at you with a failing letter. Do you see what I've called you here for? My shocking intelligence? She gives you a look, sneering at you in irritation, and you immediately shut the fuck up. You need remedial lessons now, or you won't pass the semester. She rolls her eyes. And for some reason, Headmistress Miranda was very clear with me that should you fall behind, I have to bring you back up to speed. This isn't the only class you're struggling with either. Why would she do that? Does it look like I know? You draw your hands into your lap as you purse your lips. What do I need to do? With a dramatic sigh, she goes on to basically inform you that every day after her classes have finished, you are to report to her office for her to personally re-instruct you on the areas that you did particularly bad at. And it comes with the shiny bargain of not being capable of being Miranda's assistant while you're being tutored. Who's gonna stand in for me? Who knows? Perhaps little Stanley will come back for a week. Is that who it was before? I believe so. Now go. She shoos you away in irritation. That's supposed to be shoe, but I think it's missing an O, because that says shoes, like footwear. She shoos you away in irritation. I have a suspicion that whoever wrote all of this, I haven't even looked it up, but English is probably not their first language, which is impressive considering they use lots of words that I don't know, or that I don't use in my vocabulary. Come back tomorrow, says Professor Dimitrescu. Oh. You throw your hands up. I knew I was tanking, but fuck. To get called in by the professor herself and told that I need to be tutored every day for the following weeks? Just don't fall for her, okay? You stop pacing and look at your redheaded roommate. What? It's just, people tend to do that, okay? And it's uncomfortable, and I'd honestly be really mad at you. Right. You forget that scary woman is her mom. You will never understand how their family works genetically. I won't, don't worry. I'm more likely to cry than do that. People can do both. That has a very scary implication of a story that I don't want to hear right now. Good night. I have a bad feeling about tomorrow. Oh, she's got a best mom mug. That's cute. Your head is in your hands as the professor takes a break outside. It has not been an easy session, to say the least. The door opens suddenly and you are greeted by your favorite bitchy headmistress. Oh, come back. Professor Dimitrescu enters behind her and opens her mouth to likely point out just how badly you need to be tutored. It was much worse than you had thought. But Miranda waves her off imperiously. I will tutor them myself. I cannot bear this assistant any longer. It's been a day. And it has been awful. She's cried twice and didn't even write down my instructions. But they're so obviously complicated. I know. You know that. She doesn't. She turns to Professor Dimitrescu. I will tutor them for you. Give me what they need to learn. I cannot bear it another day. You scream internally. There's no way she won't murder you faster than the professor will, but she hands the reference material over anyway, wiping her hands of you. You're gonna lose your temper with me. Miranda glances at you. I doubt it. I doubt it. Miranda's jaw is clenched as you sit next to her at her desk. Her fists are curled tightly into her palm and her eyes are just closed in frustration. You signed up for this. Her eyes open and she fixes you with an unimpressed look. How are you this behind? You shrug. She lets out a long sigh. Let's try this again. In what year did art stop being awarded a medal in the Olympics? I didn't know art was ever in the Olympics. I'm gonna say 1956. No. What famous artist was accused of stealing the Mona Lisa? Picasso. Picasso? He got busted with the other sculptures stolen, although I'm pretty sure he didn't steal those either, but it turned out some random guy who worked at the Louvre. Miranda closes the book with a sigh, irritated but glad to be done. Did I get that right? Is there anything else? You purse your lips. I might need help in my lab. Science? You nod. Okay, I can help with that. I can't do this. It's already dead. Just to make an incision. Do not fucking run from me. You whine. I'm squeamish. We are making up this fucking dissection whether you want to or not. You have missed a lab too many and now you're faced with a poor little frog, which is better than the pig the class had to do apparently. He is admittedly already dead, but it sounds honestly really gross to cut into him. But Miranda has you pinned. She takes your hand and directs you through the first cut, ignoring your disgusted noises. Both of you are pretending not to notice the professor staring at you with utter confusion. Miranda had waved him off when he offered to instruct you, citing her extensive scientific background, which she had for some reason, sent him practically running back to his desk so he could watch the two of you partake in your usual fucked up banter. I'd rather fail than do this, please. I will dissect you next if you do not do as you're told. Fine. God. She flinches against you at what you think is the loudness of your voice, so you lower it slightly for her. Whatever. She eventually backs away a little bit to give you room when she thinks you won't go running the moment she can't stop you, and you unfortunately force yourself to finish the dissection. Was that so hard? You could have been done with this part earlier if you hadn't fought me so hard on it. How do you feel about the dissection? Maybe you're right. Maybe. I'm not saying you're right, though. She takes off her gloves and walks over to the professor, who tries to make himself small. She murmurs to him in a stern tone until he grabs a paper and hands it to her, and she walks back with it and places it on a clean desk. Lab report. You throw your head back in annoyance. Why? Do it or I swear. Okay! You reluctantly find a pencil and begin writing. Why am I even at this school if I'm so reluctant to do school? For some reason, it has to be on paper, and ignore her looming presence, making sure you actually do it. She sits with you, jaw locked in irritation, until you finish. Give. You do as you're told. She reads it over before nodding. She puts it on your professor's desk with a lot more aggression than is strictly necessary. You're too smart to be doing this. But I'm so tired all the time. You whine at her and she clicks at you, making you get up reluctantly. I don't know how she clicks. Miranda glances around the two of you. When she sees nobody near, she drops her shoulders slightly and you smile weakly. Sorry for the rumors and, well, for pissing you off with the tutoring. She waves you off, looking irritated that you're trying to apologize for it. It's fine. Don't apologize for stupid things. Stupid? How ineloquent of you. She gives you a side eye, but otherwise ignores you. But really, thank you for the dissection thing more than anything. I'm pretty sure you were about to have a meltdown with me about art history, which is more comforting than it should be. Knowing the almost genius headmistress can't wrap her head around art history is actually extremely comforting and calming when you feel like maybe you should just fail out of the class. Also, Miranda's infuriated face is kind of funny, so it is a 2-in-1. Yes, well, I suppose I don't see the importance in it, but you're welcome. I did it more for my sanity than to help you. Surely they weren't that bad. I think you just missed me. You say it smugly, and not at all seriously, but Miranda goes a little pink, and your jaw drops. No way, seriously? What does it matter? She walks faster, and you chase after her, uncaring if anyone sees. It's so important to me that I know. Did you miss me? Did you? Leave it. Leave it. The tower. This is ridiculous. And so middle school. And yet... Stop making that face. What face? The one where you look like you think it's ridiculous. It is, but I don't have any other ideas, so... Miranda scowls at you for a moment before slightly lifting her mouth into a thin line. Do you need me to go over it again? No! I mean, no. I'm good. Pardon me for not believing that for a second. You're excused. Her brow twitches, but she doesn't rise to the bait. She's been doing that lately, and it bothers you so bad. Why is she being nice to you? All you've done is be extremely difficult about literally everything, although she started it. People are gawking as you leave her office, and you are all the more uncomfortable with it. It's none of their business. My, aren't my students quite bold these days? Staring right at me as if I wouldn't notice. In comparison to how disgustingly fond she had sounded when she said you were bold, she's her usual flavor of pissy when she says it now. Although, going off her face, you would be more inclined to believe that she is mostly just seeing how freaked out the student population would be if they overheard her getting pissed off. If she were really angry, she would be threatening someone's safety to a borderline illegal degree. Not that anybody would press charges against her, not even you would have the audacity to try and take her to court. The students nearby avert their gaze from the two of you, but everyone at a safe distance from you continues to stare. If we're gonna get rid of these rumors, you can't respond to them. I'm aware. She says that, but you're half convinced that she's going to break someone's face in. Actually, that would be extremely interesting to see. Would she succeed, or would she just break her own hand? This is something you will think about at a later date. The walk is silent and so very tense. After the bomb you impulsively decided to drop a few days ago, Miranda had been quite adamant on ensuring nobody thought the two of you were having a thing. You had brought up that technically it doesn't matter what they think since you two aren't sleeping together, but Miranda had just gotten even more upset about that before finally spitting out that she didn't want that kind of hit to her reputation. Which you then follow up with, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? And then she had gotten this oddly panicked expression on her face before she repeated herself in much less offensive terms and started to ramble about ethics, which is hilarious, but whatever. Walking into the shop, you finally catch a sight of the infamous cats that are supposed to roam the cafe, but are always mysteriously hiding when you show up. Elena always told you that it was too early for them to deign to show up. Welcome back. Her eyes dart over to Miranda for a moment before she goes back to looking at you. I'm happy to see the cats are out and about. Be sure to keep a hold of anything important to you or they will destroy it with little to no mercy. Cats? You idly wave your hand in the air. Yeah, it isn't called the Cat Cafe for nothing. You turn and look at her before processing her extremely nervous expression before she wipes it from her face. Well, move it. You roll your eyes and attempt to give her a side eye, but only manage a mildly strangled expression before turning back to Elena, who looks like she's almost laughing. Not that you'd guess it from the exhaustion in her features. Again, does she sleep? Is she a vampire? Or does she have like a secret that you must do everything in your power to reveal? You unconsciously squint at her in thought before Miranda actually just loses all patience with you and pushes you to the side, a sneer set in her features. I said move. Hey! You stumble forwards and almost faceplant into the extremely unpleasant and polished floor before you hear some sort of horrible squeaking sound and you're halted. Slowly, you're brought upright by your savior, who turns out to be Miranda. Right. Well, what the fuck was the point of that then? Are you alright? Right. What the fuck? Both of you turn towards the barista, who, for all intents and purposes, looks flabbergasted and frankly at a loss. It's not intensive purposes, it's intense and purposes, but thank you. You've never seen her look like that. Her mouth is downturned a whole millimeter. Pardon. I was talking to Clumsy over there. She wasn't. You startle at your ability to decipher her micro-expressions before remembering you're interning for the queen of micro-expressions. Miranda inspects her before looking at you with something akin to utter defeat. Looks like I fell for you. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, that. She looks torn between rage, confusion, and pity, and a secret fourth thing. That was bad. I know. I apologize. Really bad. Like, what possessed you to say that? Miserable, you turn your face to her. The devil, perhaps. Maybe he's finally found me for my terrible sin of liking peppermint schnapps. Oh, you really are a heathen, aren't you? Her eyes cut to Miranda again. Why? You're not entirely sure. This has been a spectacular failure of a sting, but then again, you've always been particularly poor at following directions. Let's just order and leave. What do you order? Oh, do you order? Well, I have always been bad at following directions. Let's fuck around and find out. Oh, come on. It's not that bad here. There's only like... You pause to actually count and... Fuck. 12 people here? The cafe isn't that big. 12 people? Even if the people are muttering to each other, likely about whatever fucked up thing was found on campus, there was some sort of organization scaring the absolute shit out of the student body. Everybody heard and saw what just happened. Do not test me right now. Let's go. Do you comply? Alright, I'm gonna save. YOLO! You're stupid, so naturally, you choose to push just a teensy bit further and it bites you in the ass. Hard. Hey, that's... Oh, shit. Miranda snatches her coffee. And suddenly, you are covered in fucking burning hot coffee. You shriek in pain and shock as the cafe goes into uproar over this. Something tells you she'll never have any consequences for this. How could you go from a 50 to a 6,000 so fast? It stops mattering when you... Oh... It stops mattering when you lose the feeling in your hands and vaguely hear someone call for an emergency unit. Nothing really matters other than getting it to stop, and Elena did her job too damn well because that coffee was hot as fuck. You're done with Romania after this. Yeah, that's why I saved. Whoops. Okay, let's go back. Whoops. I just overwrote my save. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Oh, okay, that's fine. We weren't that far anyway. No! God damn it.